Good morning, Judge.
Good morning, Judge.
All right, good morning, everyone. This is the Orca final plea calendar. Today is August the 24th of 2022. I am Judge Melanie Williams. It is our hope that today we will be able to resolve all the cases scheduled in a plea resolution. If not, when I call the case, hopefully we'll be able to make that announcement. All participants, please be advised this proceeding is being broadcast over the internet and it's also being recorded. That means any member of the public can log on and watch this proceeding. All defendants, you have an absolute right to remain silent. Anything you say regarding the facts of the case can and will be used against you. You also have the right to an attorney at this proceeding. It's my hope that as this is a final plea calendar, that everyone here has had the opportunity to obtain counsel, speak to counsel, and it's represented. All right, I'm gonna call the entire calendar, announce who's here. The calendar is quite brief. When I call your case, especially attorneys, if there's any particular announcements regarding dispositions or requests, please let me know. I'm first gonna call the Orca E plea calendar, beginning with the case of Latoya Winslow. Right. Cesar Gonzalez.
Sorry, Judge. Mr. Ghazi is on. That's her attorney.
Okay. Where is Mr. Ghazi? You're muted. Is your client here?
Your Honor, can you hear me now?
I can hear you now. Is your client here?
I'm not sure if she's on or not, Your Honor. She was supposed to be. That was my understanding.
Yes, at a final plea calendar would be my hope that she'd be here as well.
Your Honor, did you receive our email letter?
I'm sure the court did. Will you please inform me what was the substance of your email?
We had asked that the case be continued. I had talked to Ms. Story, the prosecutor. We are still in plea negotiations, but there's some issue as to the voluntariness and the results of her testing, her actual BAC testing.
Okay.
Still working on resolve. So
how much of a continuance are you requesting?
1 month would be more than sufficient, I think.
I make who said that would be October the 12th.
All right. All right, we will reset Ms. Winslow's case to October the 12th. Mr. Ghazi, I'll expect your client to be present at that time. All right.
I'm here.
Oh, good. Thank you. All right. Ms. Marshall Story, did the state have any objection to resetting this particular case?
No, Your Honor, I've spoken to Mr. Ghazi a few times, including this morning. So I do believe that there's no objection and we should be able to move forward.
All right.
By that October date.
So
we apologize for the late. It's just with scheduling and trying to see if we could get it resolved, and we came up with some last minute issues. So we apologize for asking for it at this late stage, Your Honor.
All right. The case will be so reset. Is our hope that we'll be able to resolve it at that October date. All right.
Thank you. May I be excused?
Thank you, Your Honor.
Yes, you can be excused, and your client can be excused as well. Thank you and take care. All right. The case of Cesar Gonzalez.
Morning, Judge. Attorney Mike Barber. I'm here for on behalf of Mr. Rosenblum from Mr. Gonzalez. If I could have a pretrial, and my instructions are to verify the offer. We have the discovery and everything, but
Okay.
Mr. Rosenblum says he doesn't see where we had an offer. We may have it and we missed it. I don't know.
All right. Whose case is this for the state?
Your Honor, this is my case. I sent an offer to Mr. Rosenblum quite some time ago, but I'm happy to relay it to Mr. Barber.
All right. If you all could do that while I continue to call the calendar, perhaps you could give him a call very quickly, Ms. Marshall Story. Would that work?
Yes, that's fine, Your Honor. I have a few more cases upcoming, but I'll send it in the chat also.
Okay, that will work. All right. We'll come right back to that case. All right. All right, the case of Chancellor Bryant.
Good morning, Judge. This is my case. Mr. Bryant is on the Zoom hearing this morning. When the court is done calling both calendars, Judge, if I can request the litigation manager to put me in a breakout room. So I need to just confirm a couple of things with my client before I make an announcement, but it's potentially
Okay.
going to be able to resolve it this morning, Judge.
All right, that sounds wonderful. We'll come back to that case, and position 4 is reset. All right, let's move to the Orca A calendar. The case of McKevy Alexander. Please stand, sir. Who represents you, Mr. Alexander? Do you have an attorney, Mr. Alexander?
Your Honor,
Is that
I apologize. I believe that's Ms. Helen's
That's
case.
mine, Judge. He appeared so that he can sign his plea paperwork, which I believe has been submitted to the state. If I need to email it to Your Honor, so Mr. Alexander can sign it in court, that can be done as well.
Has he actually taken the plea at a previous date? Or he
No,
needs to take-
Your Honor, he plans to take it
oh,
this
he needs
morning.
to take the plea today. Okay, we'll get back to you. Thank you, Mr. Alexander.
Thank
can
you,
have-
Your Honor.
All right, Lamont Atkinson.
He's on the Zoom call, Judge. That is my case. I am speaking to him right now about the offer that I just received. And then, Judge, we will have an announcement for you today.
All right, thank you. Hopefully it'll be a plea, Ms. Helen. All right, Angel Dickey. I think Ms. Dickey is on the line. Do you represent her as well, Ms. Helen?
Yes, that's also my case. Judge, that will not be a plea today. I have spoken to Ms. Dickey. Ms. Dickey is not accepting any plea of guilt and would like to request a jury trial. So I'm here to sign that jury trial request. I have entered my appearance and also requested a discovery.
Has the case been previously arraigned, Ms. Helen?
I don't believe so, Your Honor.
All right, so we'll arraign that case and when we come back to it, all right?
Thank you, Judge.
Ms. Dickey, please hold on the line. Jesus Garcia,
Good morning, Judge.
good morning.
Attorney Haley Hudler here on behalf of Mr. Garcia. He's here in the courtroom as well, Judge. We have reached a negotiated plea for this case,
Okay.
and we're ready to do the plea, but we've not received the plea paperwork yet.
And I see that you're requesting interpretation. Is there an interpreter on the line?
Your Honor, the request was made.
Okay, so can you verify whether or not we'll be able to, I wouldn't want to take the plea without
Certainly.
interpretation.
Now, I speak some Spanish, so I can at least get us started on the plea paperwork if we receive a copy of that, but definitely to do the plea. we would
Yeah,
want
we
an
would still need
interpreter.
an official interpreter, I understand. All right, so we'll come back to the case once we have an announcement regarding interpretation. Hopefully we can get it taken care of today. All
Okay,
right.
perfect. Thank
And
you.
if he wants to start on the paperwork, that's fine. I don't know.
Where would I be able to get a copy of the paperwork?
Ms. Strong, usually if we have the paperwork, Ms. Strong might be able to print it for us. Who's gonna?
Your Honor, that's actually my case. Is this defense attorney related to Ms. Sperling? Because that's the correspondence that was previously held.
I work for Mr. Sperling, yes.
Mr. Sperling, okay. If you can put the best address in for me to forward you the plea paperwork, I'll do that.
She's here live, so I don't
Oh,
know.
she's
if we
there?
can- Yeah, she's here with me live, so.
Should I
don't
just
know.
send it to Ms. Strong?
It's in the chat.
Oh, it's in the chat.
Or Ms. Redden.
Ms. Redden, I apologize. I started saying Ms. Strong,
Okay,
so that got us all thrown off. All right, so please send it to Ms. Redden, not Ms. Strong.
Excellent, thank you very much.
All right, thank you. We'll come back to that case. The case of Daryl Gunter.
Your Honor, just the court knows, Mr. Gunner had previously applied for our services and he did not qualify.
Okay, is he here today?
Mr.
Okay.
Gunter has actually submitted his plea paperwork, and I sent it to the court. So I did expect him to be here since he had gone to such an effort to complete the paperwork.
Well, that is indeed odd, isn't it? All right, maybe he'll appear before we conclude. Andrew Johnson.
Yes, Your Honor. Michael Smith here for Mr. Johnson. I received I guess a offer from the state on the 22nd, which I believe is Monday. The issue that we've had is that the plea is asking for my client to agree to restitution amount, and we've been waiting on a restitution amount from the state and it's related to another case too that I'm handling.
So I guess to abbreviate, so we can keep going, Mr. Smith, do you believe you'll be able to resolve this issue by speaking with the state today and still take this plea at this time? Or are you asking for a reset to resolve outstanding issues?
I'm asking for a reset. I don't know I doubt that the state has the actual restitution amount. And so I think the reset is probably the most appropriate course, but I could be wrong. I think and I don't want to speak about your saying.
Is it your case, Ms. Marshall-Story?
Good morning, Your Honor. This is my case.
Oh, Ms. Githia. Okay, Ms. Githia, do you believe that restitution amount will be found or could be ascertained today such that we can still take this plea?
I don't think we're going to be able to get it today. We were trying to get that, and that is the thing we are waiting on, Your Honor.
All right, so we will reset this one as well to the October calendar. It's my hope that this issue will be resolved way before then.
Just as a heads up, Your Honor, I full disclosure, I'm not normally a criminal lawyer. I'm normally in civil cases. I know I'm special set for a jury trial that in October. So I guess you can set it and I just let the court know, or I just don't want to put it.
Is there another jury trial day? I mean, I'm sorry, not jury trial. Is there another final plea day I could give him? Or could we I could put him on the motions day. Okay. I could take a final plea at the status calendar as well. I guess so. All right, what we'll do is we'll reset this case. This is a very long reset, Mrs. Smith. It is really my hope that it'll be set before then for the November 23rd motions calendar at 11:30.
Okay, thank you.
So hopefully it'll be reset, taken care of well before then, all right?
Yes, Your Honor.
Right.
May I be excused?
Yes, you and your client both can be excused. Have a good day.
All right, you too. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, now we're at the case of Daryl Johnson. I see Mr. Johnson is present. Who represents Mr. Johnson?
Mr. Blevins is actually in Cobb County right now, Your Honor. He said as soon as he is at 9 o'clock, and he said he's going to log on as soon as he could.
I'm sorry. Okay, so his attorney is coming, so we'll come back to that case.
Yes.
All right. Michael Patterson. I see Mr. Patterson present. Mr. Patterson, are you represented?
Good morning, Your Honor. Brian Tevis from Mr. Patterson.
All right, good morning, Mr. Tevis.
That is a plea today. We should already have the paperwork because we anticipated doing it at the previous date, but we had connection issues. Mr. Patterson was traveling for business. I'm in Judge Edie's courtroom right now. I would like to go out there, make my announcements, and then if I could come to G33 to handle it, I think that'd be easier.
That'd be fine. Thank you.
Perfect. I'll be there shortly. Thank you.
All right, thank you. All right, Keithlyn Reeves. Mr. Reeves is here in the courtroom. Who represents Mr. Reeves?
I do, Your Honor. Mr. Reeves is present in court. He will be accepting a plea today. He will be signing that plea in person. And so, Judge, I just need to know who I need to send that plea form to so that Mr. Reeves can sign that in person in the court.
All right, check the chat. You'll be sending it to Ms. Redden, please.
Thank you.
All right, we'll come back to the case. Thank you. All right, the case of Michael Robinson.
Good morning, Your Honor. Wanda Ganna on Mr. Robinson's behalf. He is on the Zoom call, and our announcement today is that we would pray for a jury trial, not guilty, and I will waive arraignment and submit the proper paperwork.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Gann. It's good to see you this morning. Once you submit it, well, you can submit that waiver arraignment, and if that's your only case here on the calendar, Ms. Gann, you'd be free to go.
Thank you, Your Honor.
And your client as well.
Thank you.
All right, take care. All right, Ms. Helen, going back to you for 1 minute on the case of Ms. Dickey. Would you like Ms. Dickey to be actually arraigned, or do you want to submit a waiver as well, such that Ms. Dickey would be free to go?
Yes, Your Honor. Can you arraign the case? And then am I going to be signing the case management order for the jury trial request?
She'll email it. You'll receive it via email, all right?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right.
Judge, can I make an announcement on Mr. Gonzalez?
Yes, you may.
I've been texting with Mr. Rosenblum. Ms. Story did send us an offer. He didn't see it. It was sent separately from the discovery. and he missed it. I would, and I hope Ms. Story will be okay with this, I would respectfully request a short reset so I can go, I'm gonna go over everything with him today, and if I can get paperwork, I anticipate this will be a plea.
All right, so we'll reset this case to the October the 12th calendar. That's the earliest reset date we have available.
That's okay
And
with Ms. Story.
And it's my hope that we will actually take.
That's fine.
Sorry about that. I don't know why he didn't see it, but we have it now.
All right, and also, while I'm arraigning this case, could Mr. Haddad be placed in the break? I'm sorry, Mr. Haddad, who did you need to be placed in the breakout with? Was it your client?
Yes, Judge. It is position number 3 on the Orca E final plea, Chancellor Bryant's.
Okay, so if Mr. Haddad could be placed in the breakout with his client, Mr. Bryant, so that I can go ahead and while we're arraigning this case, all right?
Thank you, Judge.
And Judge,
All
who
right.
would the paper, would I get the paperwork from Erica to plead this out at the next court date so we can have it filled out ahead of time, or?
Yes, I can send that, Mr. Barber.
Okay,
Once I get your okay, yes, I'll forward that.
Okay, I'll do
All
that.
right, and you're free to go, Mr. Barber, if that concludes your business with the court this morning.
Okay, thank you so much. Caesar, we're being dismissed, so you can log off now. He is on, by the way.
All right. All right, we'll see you on October the 12th.
All right, thank you. Bye-bye.
All right, I'm gonna now arraign the case of 21 CR 00780 F, the case of Angel Dickey, in which she's charged with 1 count of criminal trespass with the offense date of August the 1st of 2020. Ms. Dickey, you've been formally charged with the offense I just listed, which has been formally accused by the Solicitor General of Fulton County. Ms. Helen, do you waive a formal reading of the accusation?
I do, Judge.
Thank you for that waiver. At this time, the case will be reset for trial and assigned to the state court judge who will actually hold that trial. Ms. Dickey, at that trial, you will have the right to an attorney just as you had today, and you will not have the burden to prove the charges against you. The state represented by the Solicitor General will bear that burden. If they do meet that burden and they get a conviction, you could face a sentence of up to 1 year in prison or a fine of $1,000 for this charge. Based upon the information I presented to you today, Ms. Dickey, how do you plead?
Not guilty.
I accept your not guilty plea. Your case will be so reset for trial. Make sure that your address stays current with both your attorney and the court, all right?
Okay.
Thank you, Judge.
We go at this time.
Okay, thank you.
All right, let's return back. Is there any notes on the interpretation? We're waiting that, it may not happen. All right.
And also, Your Honor, I know we need that interpreter, but if I send a message to Ms. Redden to have the attorney give me a call, and I put my telephone number in the chat.
All right.
I'm sorry, not in the chat, directly to Ms. Redden.
All right, we're working on that right now. All right. All right, let's see if we can start taking, are there any pleas we can actually take? We're holding for position 3 on Orca E. We arrange that case. We're gonna come back to Mr. Johnson. Mr. Gunter did not appear. He's coming. All right, can we take the plea for Mr. Alexander at this time? Position 1 on Orca A?
Yes, Judge. I'm trying to scan and send that plea to Monica right now. Give me 1 second.
And Ms. Marshall-Story, this was your case?
Yes, Your Honor, it is.
Okay, we may need to wait then since you're about to give the attorney a call, correct?
Well, I'm waiting for the attorney in the courtroom, not Miss Helen. I'm sorry,
Right, yeah, she's stepping into the hallway now to call you.
Oh, okay.
So what we're gonna do, Mr. Alexander, please hold, just have a seat right there. Let's go to the case that Ms. Githier has. Ms. Githier, what positions do you have on Orca A?
Position 7, 8, and 9.
Okay, 7, we were holding for, correct?
Correct, Your Honor.
And we have the paperwork. Position 8, we're holding for. And position 9, can we do position 9? The case of Keithlyn Reeves. What was the announcement for that case? I don't.
That is going to be a plea. I believe Mr. Reeves is in person to sign that plea. I emailed both of those forms to Miss Monica.
So
if
can we do that position now? Oh, we don't have the plea paperwork. Can we still take up the plea? And then the paperwork comes over and he just can't leave until then? We can do that. Okay, Mr. Reeves, please come forward. Right here.
And I just emailed those. It should be.
Okay, Mr.
And Ms.
Reeves.
Helen, can you include me, please?
Sure, I'll forward you on that.
Thank
Okay.
you.
Okay, Mr. Reeves, we're now, your case is 21 CR 00659F, in which you're charged with 1 count of theft by taking and 1 count of battery family violence, each with the offense date of March the 22nd of 2019. Do you understand your constitutional rights here today? That you have a right to an attorney and a right to remain silent?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, thank you. Ms. Githier, will you please give me the state's recommendation for this case, as well as very briefly the factual basis?
Yes, Your Honor. The state expects the evidence to show that on March 22nd, 2019, in Fulton County, Mr. Reeves took the property, which was a Black Apple iPhone, from Ms. Andrea Holmes with the intent to deprive her of the phone. And he intentionally battered Ms. Andrea Holmes by punching her several times, which caused a significant bruise, and he also pulled her hair. The offer is 12 months to serve 3 days, credit for time served 3 days, balance probated, family violence intervention program, 40 hours of community service, and no contact with Andrea Holmes.
Ms. Helen, was that your understanding of the plea offer?
Hi, this is Erica Marshall Story. How are you?
Oh, Ms. Marshall, sorry, please you. Ms. Helen, was that your understanding of the plea offer?
It is, Judge. We also agreed to waive the probationary fees for this case, as well as once he completes the conditions, it will be non-reporting.
Correct.
Okay. Do you stipulate to the factual basis, IT, and venue?
I do, Your Honor.
And you're asking how much of the fees to be waived?
The full probationary period, waive probation fee.
How long is that class? Because I typically don't waive the entire period.
6 months. The family violence intervention program will be 6 months.
Okay, I will waive 6 months of fees to give him the time to do it. And then once he's finished, it can go non-reporting, so she'll not have to pay. Okay?
And when Miss Monica, or when they print that out, can that be added into the plea? I just put waive probationary fee, so if just 6 months.
Okay, we'll make that an addition.
Thank you.
All right, Mr. Reeves, please raise your right hand. Do you swear and affirm the testimony you give today for the limited purposes of taking this plea will be the truth to the best of your knowledge and under the penalty of perjury?
Yes, ma'am, I do.
All right, you can put your hand down. Are you under the influence of any drugs or alcohol at this time?
No, ma'am.
Are you satisfied with your attorney's representation of you?
Yes, ma'am.
Did anyone force you to take a plea today?
No, ma'am.
Did anyone promise you anything in exchange for taking this plea?
No, ma'am.
Do you understand that you're waiving your right to a later court date where the state would have had to prove these charges against you beyond a reasonable doubt?
Yes, ma'am.
And you're prepared to waive your right to a court date?
Yes, ma'am.
And you understand you'll have no further opportunity to present any evidence that may have resulted in a dismissal of these charges?
Yes, ma'am.
And you understand the requirements of this sentence, that you're gonna have to have no contact with the alleged victim, complete community service, take some classes, but you should not have any additional time at the Fulton County Jail. You understand the conditions?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, as to the charges that I previously listed, Mr. Reeves, how do you plead?
Yes.
All right, I will waive all the probation fees. I'll waive the entire time. It'll go as initially stood. All right, Ms. Helen? All right.
Yes, Judge.
All right, I believe that concludes this entire case. Is there anything further from the state or the defense?
Judge, it says they're not receiving it. I'll try, if my Outlook isn't working, I'll try to send it from my Gmail.
Okay. Well, Mr. Reeves, once you signed your paperwork, you'll be free to go, okay?
Okay,
We just
thank you.
need you to wait around just enough to sign your paperwork, okay?
Okay, thank you.
All right, best of luck to you, Mr. Reeves. We don't want to see you back here anymore, okay?
Thank you. You won't.
I'll just send it through my Gmail.
All right, let's go. We can't do position 8. We're not gonna be able to do 10. The only other case Ms. Githia has is position 8, and that attorney is not here yet. All right. So once Ms. Marshall's story is returned, we'll do Mr. Alexander's case. Yes. Okay, so we're gonna have to reset that case anyway. All right.
Oh, I apologize, Judge. Did you guys say you're gonna reset Mr. Alexander?
No, we're not resetting Ms. Alexander. We're gonna have to reset the interpreter case, I believe.
Okay, okay.
Is there an earlier date that we can reset it to rather than waiting all the way to October? No? Ms. Redden, the only day we can do it in October?
And the only reason why I say that.
It's
not
for-
because- Not just because it's because we've also requested this interpreter a month in advance prior.
And still have the same problem.
If you said it any earlier than that, we'll still have that same problem.
Okay.
You wanna see if we can try the language line?
The language line. Not really, that's not.
The language line.
And then, I mean, it's not gonna be, I was thinking about whether I was gonna let the attorney do it, but that's not typically sufficient, so, all right. We will, have to reset that case to the October date as soon as she comes in. You don't think you can have another poetry? All right, ma'am, I'm sorry, please tell me your name again.
Judge, my name is Haley Hudler. I'm here on behalf of Attorney John Sterling.
Okay, Ms. Hudler, unfortunately, we're not gonna have interpretation today. I do not believe we can go forward without proper interpretation. So unfortunately, we're gonna have to reset the case to the October the 12th. Final plea calendar in the hopes that interpretation will be present at that time. It'll be at 9 a.m. as well.
Now, I checked the online system through the court last night and saw that there was a notation that an interpreter had been requested like about a month ago.
Yes, court is aware.
But I wanted, because to avoid this happening again, I want to make sure that we're requesting the interpreter in the right way when we do it, because I know each court does it differently. So is there a particular person we should reach out to, or?
I'm not really sure. I know that typically we've been able to sometimes get an interpreter at the last minute. That's what I was hoping would happen today. We'll make a special notation that this has been reset for interpretation. And hopefully, I mean, I can't promise, I'm not even sure that I'll be here as this not judge. But I do not think we can go forward at this point, but I do understand your position and your client's position as well. What we can, go ahead, what we could do is perhaps have you reach out the day before, maybe call a court clerk the day before to confirm that an interpreter will be present at that time.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right.
Thank you. That would be wonderful. Now the October 12th date, will that be at 9 o'clock as well?
It is.
And is it a choice of in-person or virtual?
I believe you can, for final pleas, you can appear virtually. You just have to make sure that the paperwork is, that you're able to have your client sign it ahead of time and email it into the court. So that is an option. You could appear by Zoom. Just make sure that you do have a way to print, sign, and submit all documents, okay?
Okay, perfect. And I spoke with Ms. Marshall Story. I'm forwarding her the original plea offer so that she can get us the plea paperwork.
All right.
And Ms. Marshall Story, if possible, if you could please, I know it's set, it's going to be a month or so before we have court, but if you could go ahead and send that to me when you have it ready, soon, we'd appreciate it.
Sure, and because we will honor that original plea that was given, if you can please forward that to me so I can do the paperwork.
Yes, ma'am, will do. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you very much. Please explain to your client, many apologies, mea culpa, and we will see you on October the 12th, all right?
Thank you, Judge. And yes, if these things happen, we totally understand. That is my only case on the calendar.
Yes, maybe
get everyone's contact information. Perfect.
You
Thank
may
you,
be
Judge.
excused. Have a great afternoon.
Thank you. You as
All
well.
right, we're gonna return to position one, the case in the Kevy Alexander case 20 CR 00591 3F, in which Mr. Alexander is charged with 1 count of simple assault, family violence, 1 count of theft by taking, and 1 count of simple battery. With the offense date of August 24th of 2018. Mr. Alexander, do you understand your rights for today?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Ms. Marshall Story, can you please have the state's offer as well as very briefly the factual basis of this case?
Yes, Your Honor. The state's offer is on a plea to the simple battery charge. I'm sorry, the simple assault charge, 12 months probation, $300, or a 30 hours of community service. I'm not sure which one, Miss.
The fine, the $300
The fine, okay, the $300 fine for anger management classes, and we will no process the theft.
All right, and that was for the simple assault. The simple battery is gonna merge, or the same condition for the simple battery?
Your Honor, it was my understanding from the plea offer, Miss Helen,
Yes.
I haven't received it yet from you. Was that to the battery or to the assault?
To the simple assault.
To the simple assault, that's what I thought. And Your Honor, the state will no process not only the theft by taking, but also the simple battery.
All right, thank you. Ms. Helen, was that your understanding of the plea offer?
That was, Your Honor. I just need to send an updated cover sheet, or if that theft by taking can be removed. I think I made an error and had that on that second line. So he's just pleading guilty to the simple assault. Family violence.
All right, and do you stipulate to the factual basis, identity, and venue?
I do, Your Honor.
I'm sorry, Ms. Montessori, very briefly, will you tell us what happened? Just give us very briefly factual basis so she can actually stipulate.
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you. And it can be very short, just, you don't have to give me a whole long.
Okay, Your Honor, had this case gone to trial, the state would have been, and I'm pulling it up now, prepared to prove that on August 24th, 2018, that the defendant, McKeith Alexander, did commit an injury to the person of Tawana Lowe by striking her about the face.
All right, thank you.
And that this did occur in the state of Georgia, county of Fulton.
All right, thank you. Ms. Alexander, please raise your right hand. I'm gonna place you under oath for the very limited purposes of taking a plea. Do you swear and affirm the testimony you give today will be the truth to the best of your knowledge and under the penalty of perjury?
Yes.
All right, you can put your hand down. Thank you. Are you under the influence of any drugs or alcohol at this time?
No, ma'am.
Are you satisfied with your attorney's representation?
Yes, ma'am.
Did anyone force you into taking a plea today?
No, ma'am.
Did anyone promise you anything in exchange for taking a
No,
plea?
ma'am.
And you understand you're waiving your right to any later court dates where you may have been able to prove, have the state prove the charges against you beyond a reasonable doubt?
Yes, ma'am.
And you understand that you're waiving your right to a court date whereby you would have been able to confront your accuser and present any defenses you may have had?
Yes, ma'am.
And you understand the requirement that you have to take the 4-week anger management, you'll be on probation for 12 months, and you also have to pay a $300 fine?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, as to the charge of simple assault, family violence, how do you plead?
Guilt.
I accept your guilty plea. Ms. Marshall, please send those non-process as soon as you can.
Yes, ma'am.
Anything further from either the state or the defense?
No, Your Honor. I just want to know if Mr. Alexander will be able to get a copy of the plea paperwork he's signing, because it also has the probation office listed on the last sheet.
I'm not sure if we can make a copy, but we can try. Oh, do we have the ability to make a copy? Okay, once you send it, we can make a copy.
Okay, I'll send it again.
All right, Ms. Alexander, please just wait for the paperwork, then you'll be free to go, okay?
All right.
Best of luck to you. All right, the case of Lamont Atkinson, what was the announcement there? Were we taking this plea today?
No, Your Honor. Mr. Atkinson will not be accepting any plea of guilt today. We will be requesting a jury trial, and I will be signing that calendar or signing to request a jury trial for Mr.
All right,
Atkinson.
is Mr. Atkinson present?
He is on the Zoom call.
All right, so you're asking that I arraign his case, Ms. Helen?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Atkinson, in the case of 21 CR 00763 F, you're charged with three counts of DUI, less safe. Let me make sure, 1, 2, 3. 1 count of failure to obey a traffic control device, 1 count of driving on the wrong side of the street, and possession of an open alcohol container with offense dates of October the 14th of 2019, as well as October the 26th of 2019. Do you understand your constitutional rights here today, Mr. Atkinson? I need you to unmute. I need you to unmute.
Yes, ma'am. I'm sorry.
And all right, you understand your rights? All right. You've been formally accused with the charges I just listed by the Solicitor General of Fulton County. Ms. Helen, do you waive a formal reading of the accusation?
I do, Judge.
All right, thank you. At this time, the case will be set for trial, and the trial will be scheduled by the state court judge to whom the case is actually assigned. At this trial, you'll have the right to an attorney, and you will not bear the burden of proving the charges against you. The state will bear that burden. If they do get a conviction, you can face a sentence of up to 1 year in prison or a fine of $1,000 for each charge, and that can run concurrently or consecutively. Based upon this information, Mr. Atkinson, how do you plead?
Not guilty.
I accept your not guilty plea. At this time, your case will be reset for trial. Ms. Helen, I believe that you'll receive the case management order for you to sign. Mr. Atkinson, you're now free to go. Make sure that you keep your information current with the court and your client and your attorney, okay?
Yes, thank you, Your Honor. I appreciate it.
All right.
Thank you, Mr. Atkinson.
All right, thank you. See you.
All right.
Thank you, Judge.
All right, thank you. All right, we're going to the, we're gonna sound for Daryl Gunter. Is Mr. Gunter now present? Still not present, okay.
And Your Honor, I believe that's all of the cases that I have today on the calendar. Can I be excused?
Yes, you can be excused. Oh, wait, no, you cannot. You didn't, your paperwork, Ms. Helen, until.
Oh, I just emailed it again to Miss.
Once your clients have signed it and everything is received, then you can be excused. All right, we're working on that. All right. We're sounding for Mr. Gunter again. All right, Mr. Gunter is still not here despite submitting his paperwork. All right, are we able to go to the case of Daryl Johnson yet? I saw Mr. Johnson earlier. Why were we holding for Mr. Johnson?
His attorney.
His attorney is not here yet. All right, is Mr. Johnson's attorney present? Not present, okay.
He was in Cobb County this morning, Your Honor, and he said he was gonna log on as soon as he could.
Okay.
Your Honor, I have a brief announcement when the court is able to.
All right. Go ahead, Mr. Reddine.
Thank you, Judge. Judge, on behalf of my client, Mr. Brian, Chancellor Brian, who's position number 3 on the Orca E final plea, I did get an opportunity to speak to him additionally this morning. He does not wish to enter a guilty plea, Judge. So on his behalf, we're going to waive arraignment and a plea of not guilty and request a jury trial. I will waive any formal readings, Judge, and of course, I'll be happy to sign whatever paperwork is sent to me, Judge, to set it forward back to division.
All right, please please complete your waiver of arraignment and submit that. And otherwise, your client is free to go. Mr. Bryant, you're free to go at this time, all right?
Thank you, Judge. And other than the paperwork, am I excused, Judge? That's the only case I had this morning.
Yes, please submit that as soon as possible, then you're free to go, all right?
Thank you, Judge. Thank you.
All right, let's go to the case of William Patterson. Mr. Patterson is present, and I believe Attorney Tevis
Michael Patterson, yes, Judge.
is here.
He's on Zoom.
All right. All right, Mr. Patterson, your case is 21 CR 0000523 F, in which you're charged with 1 count of battery, substantial physical harm, with the offense date of January the 9th of 2020. Do you understand your constitutional rights? Mr. Patterson, we can't hear you. You're not joined to the audio of this Zoom, I believe. You need to actually click join audio so that we can hear you.
Yep, still can't hear.
Still can't hear you, Mr. Patterson.
Just want to see if Miss James received my email.
No.
I'm chatting with her right now.
Ms. Redden has not received it.
Oh, Miss James asked me to email it to her.
Correct, because she
Okay.
received it. I asked her to
Okay.
forward it to me. I still don't have it.
Ms. James doesn't have it either, Ms. Helen.
It must be on her end because I received email. And
Uh,
responses for it.
Maybe try sending it something from your phone, Ms. Helen. I'm not sure. Other emails are coming through. Mr. Patterson, are we able, can you try speaking again?
Can you hear me now, Judge?
Yes, thankfully. we
Okay,
can
thank
hear
you.
All right. Ms. Marshall-Story, if you would very briefly give us the state's offer in this case and the factual basis.
This is my case, Your Honor.
Oh, again, I apologize. Ms. Givier, please.
No
give-
problem. Yes, Your Honor, the state expects the evidence to show that on January 9th, 2020, Mr. Patterson became aggressive with the victim, Reza Schwartz, and punched her in the face, causing a laceration to her eye. The offer is 12 months to serve 1 day, credit for time served, balance probated, 4 anger management classes, alcohol drug evaluation and treatment, a $400 fine, no further contact with Reza Schwartz, and a stay away from 229 Peachtree Street, Northwest Atlanta.
All right. And that was 229 Peachtree Street Northwest. All right. Is it Mr. Tevis?
Tevis, yes, sir.
Yes, Mr. Tevis, was that your understanding of the plea offer?
It is, Judge, and if I could just be heard briefly on regarding the factual basis.
Very briefly.
Sure. Mr. Patterson resides in California. He was in Atlanta for business. At this incident location was a restaurant, so we have no reason to go back to that location. The allegations are that people were intoxicated and there was alcohol involved in the case, but I think the police report also indicates that the alleged victim stole Mr. Patterson's phone. Needless to say, Mr. Patterson has no criminal history whatsoever. We are asking for first offender treatment on this case. We're also entering a no-low contendery plea. And then finally, I have filed pursuant to 42.862.1 a motion to restrict and seal the records, which is under the first offender statute is allowed. I expected to be on Zoom rather than in person, but I can email the order granting that if the court is so inclined, I can send an email to the court, or I can print a paper copy and bring it back. The factors going to that record are, again, his lack of criminal history. This was an isolated allegation, and he's the head of a company. He has a lot of business concerns. This would really affect him financially. In fact, during the pendency of this case, there was a merger where his company merged with another company, and we had concerns about background checks, things like that. I don't think that the public's interest in this case, because this is not anything out of the ordinary, but I don't think that the public interest in this case outweighs his interest and the harm that would be caused to him in his future employment. And so I do think that a restriction is appropriate on the front end. Obviously, he would be eligible when he completes the conditions and his first offender plea is closed, it would be restricted automatically. So the statute does allow for restriction on the front end exactly for cases like this, and I would ask the court to grant the motion, and I will provide the order.
I'm inclined to grant it. Ms. Giffey, what is the state's position on the no-low though? That is what I want to know.
Oh, we have no objection to that, Your Honor.
No objection to the no-low. All right, I'm inclined to grant your motion, Mrs. Tevis.
Thank you, Judge.
All right.
Is there an address I can provide the order?
Yes, if you're logged into the Zoom still, it should be in the chat.
Okay, very well, I'll log back in.
All right. I'm gonna ask your client some questions, Mr. Tevis, to make sure he's voluntarily and knowledgeably taking this plea today. Mr. Patterson, will you please raise your right hand? Do you swear the firm testimony you give today for the limited purposes of taking this plea will be the truth to the best of your knowledge and under the penalty of perjury?
Yes, Judge.
All right, thank you. You can put your hand down. Are you under the influence of any drugs or alcohol at this time?
No, Your Honor.
Are you satisfied with your attorney's representation?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did anyone force or coerce you into taking a plea today?
No, Your Honor.
And did anyone promise you anything in exchange for taking a plea?
No, Your Honor.
And you understand that you will not have any further court dates regarding this charge?
Yes, Your Honor.
And by waiving your right to a court date, you will not be able to present any defenses you may have or have the state prove the charges against you beyond a reasonable doubt. You understand that?
Understood, Your Honor.
All right, and you understand the requirements of the sentence, including all fines, all places that you must stay away from, and the people you must not have any contact with.
Yes, Your Honor.
And you also understand you need to take a course and undergo some evaluations.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. As for the charge of battery, substantial physical harm, Mr. Patterson, how do you plead?
No contendere.
All right, I accept your no loan plea at this time. Is there anything further from either the state of the defense as it pertains to this plea?
No, Your Honor.
All right.
No, Your Honor.
All right, once we have the paperwork, your client and you can both be excused, Mr. Tevis. all
Thank
right?
you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right, we are still holding to the case of Mr. Johnson. We may have to reset if his attorney is not yet appeared in the next few minutes, unfortunately.
And Judge, I sent new emails. I don't know if they received it yet.
Okay, yes, we have it. Ms. Allen, you can be excused.
Thank you, Judge.
All right.
Can I ask a quick question, Your Honor, regarding position 6? I noticed that you put it on a motions calendar, but would that be in person or would that be also on Zoom?
All final plea calendars are Zoom as well. The only ones that you're required to physically come in are the bench trial calendars.
Okay, thank
So
you.
I put it there just in the hopes that we would have enough time to get that case resolved. But yes, that should still be a Zoom case.
Okay, thank you.
All right, Ms. Marshall-Story, you said Mr. Gunter actually submitted paperwork to you? You're still muted. You're muted, Ms. Marshall-Story still.
To Miss Redden, yes, he actually signed it. It appears that he took a picture of it and scanned it back to me. So again, and he called me also to confirm that I had received it. So because of that, the state would not oppose putting this on for one more date.
That's what I'm thinking.
Maybe
Maybe
a
he
lot of effort.
It seemed like he didn't understand that perhaps he
Needed to show up.
Right. Maybe he thought signing was all he needed to do. All right, we will reset his case as well to the October 12th final plea. All right.
And will someone reach out to him from the clerk's office?
I'm sure he'll get a new notice.
Okay,
but
I just wanted to make
I don't know if that's gonna tell, he may think that he's already handled this. Hopefully when he gets the notice, he'll know to appear.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right. So we're only holding on paperwork in position 7. Once all paperwork is signed, if Mr. Johnson's attorney is not present, we'll reset his case as well.
Ms. Redden, you have the paperwork, correct?
Yes, I do. Judge, it's on the bench.
So it is? I have the paperwork. Oh, well, his attorney's not here, so we can't do position 7. Yeah, we have the paperwork, but no attorney. All right, is everyone in the courtroom signed? No, they're gonna sign now. All right. That's fine. All right. We'll be in a very brief recess, holding for paperwork in position 7. All right, unfortunately, we're gonna have to reset you, Mr. Johnson. Your attorney did not appear. We can't complete your plea without him here today. Mr. Johnson, are you able to hear me?
Yes, I am.
All right, we're gonna reset your case to the October 12th calendar. Please let your attorney know you'll get another notice, okay?
All right.
All right, take care. Best of luck to you. Ms. Redding, will you review the calendars for us, please? It doesn't matter. Oh, it does.
This is the Orca E final plea calendar. Position number 1 was reset for a possible plea, reset for October the 12th. Position number 2 was reset for the attorney to speak with his client. That will be reset for October the 12th as well for a possible plea. Position number 3 was waive the arraignment and reset for a jury trial. And position number 4 was reset for September the 14th at 9 a.m. for a final plea.
This is the Orca A calendar. Position number 1, Alexander. Plea was taken today in court. Position number 2, request for jury trial will be sent back to the division. Position number 3, request jury trial, it will be sent back to the division. Position number 4, reset for an interpreter. Position number 5, reset for August 12th, final plea. Position number 6 is reset for the November 23rd motions calendar. However, it will be a final plea at that time. Position number 7, reset for October 12th for final plea. Position number 8, Mr. Attorney Tevis, what was your announcement for position number 8? I apologize.
We took a plea.
Patterson, yes, it was.
Plea.
Okay, forgive me. Position number 8, there was a plea today. Position number 9, there was a plea. Position number 10, reset for jury trial, send back to the division.
Any comments, changes, corrections, or questions?
No, Your Honor.
All right, someone just entered the courtroom. Your name, sir? I'm sorry?
I was supposed to meet here.
You're not on this calendar today.
I looked him up.
Okay, I believe this calendar is not concluded. We'll be in recess into the Orca calendar on Friday at 9 a.m. I'll see each of you there. Take care. Have a good day.
Have a good day.
Bye.
All right, bye-bye.
I was supposed to meet with a solicitor,